We entitle our investigative report, Suffer the Little Children.
The newspapers labeled the institution the shame of Pennsylvania.
You were never to see the living situation your child was living in.
There was many patients actually caged up in adult-sized cribs.
Some of these people were even bound by their hands and feet for hours, if not days.
Just knowing what went on there, I had a difficult time with it.
What was that? If you like the sound, touch the REM pod again.
I did at one point feel a tug on the lower part of my pant leg.
Might have been a little kid.
That's weird.
Cat ball is still going, and now the REM pod.
Can you tell me the names of the men in the room?
Hi, Mike. You missed us.
Did you hear that?
That was very clear.
Do you know the names of the guys that were just in here? I think it just said Mike.
That was crazy, dude.
Can you touch that if you remember who I am?
Nice.
No way.
No way. The spirits were very distressed and they wanted to get out of that place.
It's not right here. It's terrible. The loneliness.
I'm sad.
We're not happy.
It was one of the heaviest investigations we've done thus far.
We need to escape.
We need to leave. I'm desperate.
I'm telling you, there's things walking behind the tripod. That was crazy.
That was awesome.
Once you find the lake, you're free.
Johnny, can you talk?
Yes.
Do you like it here at Pennhurst?
No.
Why not, John? Let me ask you this, John. Do you remember living anywhere except Pennhurst?
No.
So we are currently standing in Pennhurst State School and Hospital. Most of you will actually know this as Pennhurst Asylum, but fun fact, this was never an asylum in all the years that it was open.
An asylum is going to house individuals with mental illness or psychiatric illnesses. So if you're criminally insane, depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, that would have been housed in an asylum at the time.
So the institution opened in 1908, and it was originally open for people with mental and physical disabilities.
It was actually originally known as the Eastern Pennsylvania Institution for the Feeble-Minded and Epileptic.
Feeble-mindedness was a branch term for anyone with intellectual disability. Epilepsy was what they referred to what we consider epileptic and seizure disorders today, but also anyone with a physical disability. And to say we knew little about disability is an understatement.
It was typically people who were not fit for society.
So this is going to be autism, ADHD, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, MS. That would have been housed here at Pennhurst.
So Pennhurst was originally designed to house 500 patients.
They were also pressured into housing other societal undesirables. This included immigrants, criminals, and even orphan children.
This in turn resulted in immense space congestion within just a few years.
We had a total of 10,500 residents that ever stayed here on this property. And of that number, about half died here. 5,500 is the document we have.
So it was very much its own small community. The land it's on is 1,400 acres.
They had their own firehouse, they had their own power plant, their own hospital, they even had their own morgue.
They also grew their own food here.
And monitored their own land.
Everything that was needed to be done here was done here, and that was purposeful. That purpose was to keep, first, costs down, but second, to keep these individuals isolated.
Why do you think Pennhurst is in the condition it is?
I think Pennhurst is in the condition it's in because nobody cares. The general community either doesn't know or doesn't want to know.
Most people didn't know what was happening here. On paper, this seemed like a great place to send your child. And in fact, I will say it's due to the care of parents as to why this place closed partially. If parents wanted to visit their child, they made it very, very difficult here. You could only come Sundays and Thursdays. From 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock, you had to have an appointment. You got 30 minutes. That's it. If you were to come visit your child was brought to you. They were cleaned, dressed, made to look nice, then brought to you. You were never to see the living situation your child was living in. Most parents didn't come visit their child. Very rarely did any really come. Once their child was sent here, most of the time they were dropped off and that was it.
Do the people outside love you? Do they care about you?
Well, I haven't been around them not been around them enough to see that.
Who cares about you?
None of my parents don't care for me.
In 1913, the Commission for the Feeble-Minded was appointed. This meant that overcrowding got even worse here at Pennhurst. And this blatantly stated that people with disabilities were not fit for society and not fit for citizenship.
So this in turn contributed to a massive influx of patients living within the asylum walls.
We started in our administration building. That's the very first thing a resident would have done if they came here through here. They were filed through here, and the next thing they would do would forever determine their quality of life here and how they were viewed. They would take an IQ test. If you scored between a 75 and a 50, you were a moron. If you scored between 50 and 25, you were an imbecile, and 25 and 0, you were an idiot, the lowest grade. Those were the terms to use to describe the residents here at Pennhurst. That would forever determine which building you would stay in, as well as the level of care you would receive. Now, like I said, this was a state school and hospital. It would promise that parents would have their child receive an education, but here at Pennhurst, it generally didn't work like that. Now, of the 10,500 total residents we had here, we have documents of about 8% ever even seen the inside of that school building. You needed to be a high-grade moron. You need to be considered somewhat teachable. If not, you were a lost cause and not worth the time.
So in the 1960s, they actually had almost 3,000 people here, and only 200 of them were receiving care. And most of them were actually children.
The ideology behind institutions here in America is that you would send your child here so they could be with like-minded individuals and receive an education. Because we didn't have special education or group home environments at the time. That was not a solution. This was the only solution at the time, or any sort of care you could receive if you had a child with a disability. It was considered incredibly shameful at the time to have someone with a disability in your family. Foundational issue here and across America is that we founded these institutions upon the American eugenics movement. Eugenics is this pseudoscience idea that there is optimal genes, the best genes in society, and you need to keep these good genes and keep them up to keep them from reproducing in society. You want them to. And to take these undesirable genes, for this example, it's disability, and you need to isolate them from society with the eventual hopes of eradication. And that here at Pennhurst and across America was our goal with institutions in the United States.
The youngest person that was here was 8 months old, and the oldest was 87. So the age range was actually crazy. Because if you think about it, children grow up, but they lived here forever.
The idea to have these people here at Pennhurst was to keep them here for their whole lives, isolated from society and away, so hopefully disability goes away forever. Our medical documentations describe the people here, the residents, as subhuman. Almost human was the words that we described them as. And if they were almost human, you could give them almost human treatment. What we did here was terrible, but it was considered medically advanced for the time. And what they considered medically advanced, we consider pretty barbaric.
So also in the 1960s, Bill Baldini, a young reporter, got a tip about the asylum's conditions.
These are some of the sights and sounds of Pennhurst, the state institution for the mentally retarded. In 1908, when the institution first opened, the man in charge bitterly complained to the state that the conditions were already overcrowded.
After seeing the institution with his own eyes, he decided to return with a film crew and made a 5-part documentary to expose the conditions of Pennhurst Asylum.
It took several days of them standing at the front gates of Pennhurst to even be considered let in. They finally agreed under 2 circumstances. 1, you're only allowed in 2 buildings, the Devon building and the Mayflower building, and a little bit of Timothy. And 2nd, you're only allowed here for 5 days. That's it. Bill actually agreed to those clauses, but when he came here and filmed, what he saw disgusted him so much, he only lasted 4 days out of those 5. The camera crew went without him on the last day because he was so sick and could not see it anymore.
We entitle our investigative report, Suffer the Little Children.
There was many patients actually caged up in adult-sized cribs.
Some of these people were even bound by their hands and feet.
And sitting in their own feces.
For hours, if not days.
The individuals that lived in cribs here were lovingly called flatbacks as a nickname because they had not moved from a bed for so long that their entire spine and back of their head become straight flat from just staying in one spot for the rest of their life. That was the level of care we had for individuals with disability, and this was deemed okay.
This documentary aired in the 1960s on a local television network. However, soon it spread national and became a huge national issue that people started to fight against.
People were really mad. I highly encourage anyone who's not watched it and is interested in Pennhurst history to watch it. It's free on YouTube, but I will say it is a very, very difficult watch.
So what Bill and his team had seen was people living in their own filth, as well as the toilets in the bathrooms being full to the top with filth. They also saw approximately 80 children in cages.
It was so crowded, they reported you could roll from one bed to another. That's how crowded it was here. Shackles to beds, shackles to walls, seatbelts to toilets to make sure people didn't move or hurt themselves. And a second form of medical restraint, heavy sedatives to keep people still in a zombie-like state so they didn't move or run away.
How else do you deal with patients that are hyperactive?
I have given some of them intravenous pentobarbital sodium on occasion. Otherwise, they would do harm to themselves and others.
In other words, you drug them?
Absolutely.
And Thorazine is an anti-seizure medication. And a fun fact about anti-seizure medications is if you start taking it and you don't suffer from a seizure disorder, it actually will give you seizures. And that's how almost every single person here died. One of the highest rates of death is a seizure disorder. What happened here was not only deemed socially acceptable, but legally and medically acceptable too. Everything that happened here was not illegal for the time. And I will say this too, most of the people that worked here were just trying their damn best because it was so criminally understaffed and underfunded at all times. It was a constant catch-up game.
So the death of the institution came in 1987. After years of unimaginable patient abuse, overcrowding, financial crisis,
inadequate staffing, and over 2 decades of legal actions and federal judgments.
The newspapers labeled the institution the shame of Pennsylvania.
However, the ending of Pennhurst was not all bad.
The happy ending of this story is many people believed when this place closed, they just shoved every resident out and called it a day. But actually that didn't happen. Every single resident either went back with their families or to a smaller group home. And I will say this too, there are many Pennhurst residents who are still alive today, and they're living happily.
So this hospital actually ended up being at the heart of one of the biggest human rights movements for people with disabilities,
putting into motion changes in America's medical practices.
And although America and the rest of the world still has a long way to go, what happened here at Pennhurst really helped move us into what we hope will be the right direction.
You want to go home?
Yeah, I like to.
Who's going to take you home?
Nobody.
What would you like? If I could give you anything I could in the world, what would you want?
I'd like to get out of Pennhurst.
Would you rather have money or would you rather leave Pennhurst?
I'd rather leave Pennhurst.
I was kind of in shock about how big this community actually was and how many buildings there were.
You could feel the heaviness in the air the moment you walked onto the property.
Trying to picture thousands of people being on this property was surreal.
Just knowing what went on there, I had a difficult time with it.
This is a location that's extremely emotional and tragic, and we knew immediately that this was going to be a very different investigation for us. We were invited here tonight by our friend Mike and his teammates Matt and David from Charm City Paranormal. We're going to start off the investigation by splitting up into our own teams and rotating buildings, and then later on we're going to mix up and group up together with Charm City Paranormal.
Stay tuned, it's going to be a spooky one, YouTube.
Where do you want me to stand?
Is there anyone here with us?
That sounds like a little kid.
Can you tell us what your name is?
Are you hearing movement down in the hall?
I did. Like crackling.
Yeah.
Is there someone down? Is there?
You literally just said down here.
Who's at the end of the hall?
Do you want to come? Do you want to come down here with me? Do you see me? My name's Tara.
I'm Paige. We're new here.
I'm Rhonda.
We came to visit you.
Would you like to come down here and talk with us?
It sounds like in pain, like distress. We're here to communicate tonight and learn more about what you went through. We mean you no harm.
How old were you when you were here? I'm 14, is that what it said?
I think so.
Yeah.
What's your name? Can you tell me your name?
I think it's a Pete. My name is Tara. Can you tell me your name?
What?
Wilma, that's what it sounded like, yeah.
Were you a patient here? Or did you work here?
Can one of you touch one of our balls or our REM pod and make it light up for us?
Can you tell us what it was like to live here?
Did you have a job here?
It was full.
I know a lot of you had jobs. Can you tell me what you did? None of the devices we brought will hurt you. They're just so that...
Do you know whose room this was that we're in right now?
All the way down. We are at the end of the hall.
Yeah.
We thought we saw something move down here, so this is why we came down here to talk to you.
I keep seeing like weird white things go behind the tripod. Down the hall. Like white wisps. Yeah.
We have capsules out here in the hallway. If you touch any of these balls, they'll flash and light up. There's definitely something right down here.
What?
There's something down by that camera.
Yeah, and I was seeing...
Because like I just felt totally electric when I went to check that to see what was going on.
I was seeing white things go like behind the legs of the tripod.
Yeah.
There is the doorway there,
There's a doorway?
right by the camera.
There's a, yeah. There's
So it's going... It's at the end.
Do you want to come see us at the end? We're at the very last room at the end of the hall. You can come hang out with us.
We're looking to talk with some new friends. I hear something down the hall.
This thing will get you.
Who's down the hall? Somebody coming. Are you afraid?
Downstairs.
Where are you downstairs?
Do you know the name of the other people that are investigating tonight? The camera guy?
Okay, can you tell us what the camera guy's name is? I'm sure they've probably introduced themselves.
He's been here before. Can you tell me his name?
Who's in the Devon building right now?
So why would we tell you?
Yeah. Can you tell us?
She's hurt.
It said she's hurt.
Can you tell us who's hurt? Is there someone that needs help?
I feel weird.
So do I.
Can you tell us where in the room you are?
Oh my god, I just saw legs, dude. I literally saw white legs.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm telling you, there's things walking behind the tripod. When we were in the Mayflower building up on the 3rd floor, I did see something moving in the very back room at the end of the hall.
I had seen a shadow figure.
Tara and Paige actually saw the same thing as well. So we figured, like, let's go do a portal session in there if that's where we're seeing things at the moment.
I definitely saw some weird things and experienced some weird things.
As you can see in the video, we were really distracted.
And it wasn't just me that was distracted. Paige was also very distracted.
Every time I looked down the hall, I kept seeing movement going on behind the tripod legs on the camera that we had set up down there.
Just constant foot traffic.
It was like white, misty shaped things just moving behind the tripod.
So I knew that I wasn't crazy because I wasn't the only one that was experiencing this.
At one point, I actually saw solid legs.
It was bizarre.
I think right at the beginning of our portal session, something said down here, so there was definitely things down the hall.
I definitely think that there is a lot of activity on that floor, and we definitely weren't alone.
Another really interesting response that we got through the portal was when we were asking about our friend Mike and if they remembered him from his previous visit. Whatever came through referred to Mike as the camera guy. And if you don't know, Mike's actually a very talented photographer and the lead investigator on his team. So it would make sense for them to see him as the camera guy. So I thought that was very interesting and a really intelligent response, actually. Oh, cool. Thank you.
Could you step away from the REM pod, please?
Hold this for a second. If you want to join us in church, you're gonna have to step past that and come inside. Oh my god, I felt something just tugged on my pant leg. Really? At the bottom, like right here. Might have been a little kid.
That's weird.
I'm gonna reset that while we do this. Alright.
Do you want to do single access or just open box?
Open.
Spirit box?
Here you go. Send it right there. Hey, REM pod.
Yeah.
What was that warning?
Is anyone down here with us?
That's something sitting right on to me. That's something sitting right on to me. That's something sitting right on to me. Let's move it.
Over here?
Let's move it to the middle of the room.
Oh, REM pod.
REM pod again.
Okay, so we moved it.
Is there anyone here?
Help, yes. I'm gonna help us. Get closer to that spirit box, Mom. Leave.
Can you tell us your name?
Thank you. That's great.
Can you stop touching the REM pod?
On the count of 3, let it go. 1, 2, 3.
Can you stop touching the REM pod, please?
Nope.
Who's here with us? This isn't very loud.
Turn it off.
No, nothing.
I don't know. If there's anybody here with us, we need you to go up and touch that and make it sound again. It's on command.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you stop touching it now and show us that you're here?
You're doing a great job communicating with us. Is there any way you could just take a step back?
What was that? What the? Sound like a car. What was that? What the? Sound like a car. What was that? What the? Sound like a car.
I don't know.
Move it again.
Actually, yeah. Testing this out. If you're still here with us, please come and light up this REM pod like you just were.
It's on command.
Thank you.
Like,
So how do you deny that?
yeah, it's on command. It just doesn't want to step away when we ask them to.
Or it's just glitching out, and when they do step away, it's still going off.
Maybe.
Because that does happen. Sometimes when we set it off, it just goes off and off.
Yeah.
But then you also have to think if it's somebody that's
You're
Got some
right.
sort of disability,
maybe they don't know enough to let it go. Like maybe they're just so captivated by the lights
Yeah.
and the sound that they just don't want to let it go.
That's a really
And
really good point.
yeah, and because none of them were actually getting treatment for any of their disabilities, majority of them weren't. They probably didn't follow direction very well.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna reset this. And I want you to do it again. If you like the colors,
Light up the pretty colors for us.
touch the REM pod again. If you like the sound, touch the REM pod again.
The sound.
They like the sound.
Can you tell us what this room was used for?
Can you tell us what your name is?
Can you tell us how old you are?
Did you gather in here?
Pain.
That makes sense. Were you in pain being here? Oh, what was that? Oh, what was that? Oh, what was that?
That was a laugh or something.
No, that wasn't a laugh. That was something. I don't know. That came from down the hall.
Yeah, that sounded like a weird cackle to me.
Do you know who just made that sound?
Toy.
Toy.
The toy made the sound. You can hear it on this. Yeah.
I heard something. It sounded
Hold
like
on,
a
let me
ding.
put this in.
Oh, what was
Yeah.
that?
It was a laugh or something.
Say that again. No, that. Get it close. Oh, what was that?
It was a laugh or something.
It sounds echoey, like it would
No,
be
that wasn't
come
a
from.
laugh.
Yeah, like a...
That was something. I don't know. I'm curious. Oh, she's done.
Okay, you wanna try again?
Yeah. Can you tell me what it was like to live here?
Did you ever have any visitors to come see you?
Did you have a job here?
Henry.
Is Henry here in the room with us right now?
Can you tell me what it was like to live here?
Oh, it sounded like it might have been something there. There's something there.
Yeah, that was like a breath.
Yeah. There's a response there. Yeah.
I guess it's here. What?
There's a response here. And you just said, did you hear that after that?
Yeah, and that was out there. So there was something that was caught.
It could be something. It sounds like
It sounds like here
rumbly.
or something.
Yeah.
Did you have a job here?
Ooh. I just saw something white peek outside of that door. The far door. I just saw like a little head.
Back.
What is this place? Like the showers?
I saw someone go that high. A little white head peek out.
We got a lot of REM pod action.
It seemed to be very direct.
It kind of felt as if we were contacting possibly children.
Rhonda made a really good observation that if we were speaking to a child, it might have been one of the ones with a cognitive disability.
A lot of the kids there, they would like sensory objects.
They tended to like the equipment that either flashed or made noises.
And that would be something that is sensory. Not only does it light up, but it also makes sounds.
They might not have been able to communicate with us verbally, and that makes a lot of sense.
Maybe that was sort of like their only way that they could communicate.
We did confirm that they preferred the sound over the colors, so that was really cool. When I looked out the door across the hall, I could see a little white head peeking in at us.
I did at one point feel a tug on the lower part of my pant leg.
It definitely could have been a child down there. So what is this?
This is a little doll that I made for the children of Pennhurst. And inside I wrote a little note. To the children of Pennhurst, love Aunt Rhonda, ParanormalXP. So I'm gonna stick that in her little bag. And we're gonna leave it here for all the little children to play with.
Do you like your new toy? We're leaving it here for you.
If you like the toy, can you give us a sign?
Did you guys hear that? Yeah. Oh, there's a bat. I saw it fly across the door. Oh, that's what's happening. It's a bat going back and forth across the door.
So, does that mean that you like the toy that I made for you?
If you do, you can hit this.
If you like the toy that I brought for you, can you light up one of our other devices? You just have to touch them or go near them.
Oh, cat ball.
Thank you for interacting with us. I appreciate it.
So we haven't introduced ourselves in this building yet.
My name's Tara.
My name's Rhonda.
My name's Sherry.
And I'm Paige.
All the way from Canada.
To come and hang out with you.
To come and see you and talk to you. Could you make an audible noise?
There's bat here.
There's what?
There's bat here. And the cat ball goes off.
I know what happened here was really bad, but as for spirits...
I think sometimes when really bad things happen, it can manifest some sort of negative entity.
Yeah.
What kind of things did you do in this room?
You're helping me.
You're helping me. We're helping you? We've come here because we want to talk to you. We want to be friends. We want to play. Is there anyone here who wants to play with us? Can you tell us where in the room you might be?
You want to slide down the slide? Oh,
Who's here with me?
My name's Rhonda. What's your name? Do you like the doll that I brought for you? Is that your last name? Is this a yes?
Always a yes?
Yeah.
Who are we talking with? Anna?
Can you say Tara?
No. Do you like the doll we gave? Do you like the doll we gave you? The man scares me. They could be talking about like the doctors and stuff. What was that? Just cut out?
I just said taxi.
The taxi theory.
Said taxi at condos.
It did. Help. Did you hear what it said? It said taxi. It said taxi at Conjuring as well. There's this taxi cab theory that things will jump around and follow you and drop off other places?
Do you remember my name?
I just saw like...
Can you tell us what's flying around in this room?
It looked like it was like so much closer to my face. I feel like it's over here. I just feel like there's like energy behind my back.
Is there someone standing behind Paige?
Do you know the names of the guys that were just in here?
Name one.
I think it just said Mike.
There's a lot coming through.
What?
I just saw like it was white. Remember you? It was right there, just behind the tripod, but it was against the wall.
That's what I've seen.
It was going that way, like it was walking towards the doorway.
I'm telling you, there's things walking all around.
Yeah. I have like full body chills from that. That was crazy.
I saw one shadow, but the rest has been white.
In the Devon building, in the basement, there's a room that is known as Candyland, and this is where all of the kids would go and play. There's like a mural of like the swings and some trees and stuff. I found it really sweet that Aunt Rhonda actually had made a doll for the children of Pennhurst, and she left it in Candyland.
It's just something that I wanted to do. I've always had a really big place in my heart for kids. I've worked with kids my whole life, even children with disabilities. It's just something that, as little as it was, it's just my way of just leaving something for them, something that maybe would bring them some sort of happiness.
So we ended up meeting up with Charm City's team, and we ended up swapping a member to investigate a building. So I went with Mike and Matt back to the Mayflower building, and then David went with Tara, Rhonda, and Sherry to the Devon building.
We're going to do a walking Estes session. He has not done this before. We only have done it once. And we're very excited to see how it works with someone we haven't worked with yet, so.
We're gonna see. Turn it all the way up. We're ready. Oh yeah.
Good. Let's go this way. Can you hear anything that I'm saying? I think we're good. Are there any spirits here with us?
Alice, what are you doing?
We are trying to communicate with you, Alice.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I think so.
If you can hear me, what's the name on the wall that you're giving me?
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Are you able to read it?
David?
David.
Neller?
This way.
4?
Can you tell me how old you are?
Stop.
Is there a reason you wanted us to stop?
Hello?
Hi, can we continue?
Hi?
Are we talking to someone different?
Yes.
Can you tell us what your name is?
Someone with an N.
Which room was yours?
Nelson?
Nelson, is this where you lived, in this building?
No.
What building did you live in?
Can you tell us what this room was used for?
Violence.
What kind of violence happened?
We're hanging out here.
What sort of violent things would happen here?
How's someone said a name, but I don't know what it was. Kathy?
How long did you live here?
3.
3 years?
Yes.
Did he say yes? Did you ever have family that came to visit you?
Absolutely.
Well, that's great.
Do you have any siblings?
2.
What were their names?
Beth and Matt.
Can you tell me the names of the men and the other women?
Hi, Mike. You missed us.
Mike, Matt, and I ended up back in the room with the church pews in the basement, and I ended up filling them in on what just happened there with my team, and we started getting pretty similar responses.
I'm going to turn this device on for you. I introduced myself earlier, but in case you missed it, my name is Mike. I'm Matt.
I'm Paige.
We're coming from all over to meet you and talk to you and just hear what you have to say. Promise that we're not here to hurt you in any way or take anything away from you. We just want to have a conversation. If you're okay with that, I'm going to turn this device on here, set it in this chair, and if you'd be so kind.
Oh, wow.
See, what am I told you, dude.
You were not lying.
No.
There it goes.
Oh.
Nice. Could you do that again for us, please? To confirm that you're here with us?
I feel like every time I look at that doorway, somebody's just peeking around the corner and like hiding.
It's funny you say that because the door past the hall, I saw a little white head peek out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's been like that a lot down here.
I've been seeing white apparitions all night. One shadow, but mostly white misty stuff.
Yeah, ours have been gray the whole time.
Yeah.
So they're definitely popping up and showing themselves a lot.
Yeah.
Do you want to come over and talk to us for a little bit? If you do, can you come over and touch one of these lights, please?
Cat ball.
Cat ball.
Nice. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That was immediate.
Yeah.
They're very, very responsive in here. Again.
I was actually just here a few weeks ago. Do you remember me? I thought I heard somebody say yeah.
No, I heard a distant voice too.
Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, I was about to say, hasn't stopped. Can you touch that if you remember who I am? No way.
Nice.
No way. Well, it's nice to talk to you again.
I know you like the sound of the REM pod. We confirmed that earlier. Could you touch it again for us?
I think it's crazy how that's going off, but the REM pod isn't.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. Because it would be in close proximity, right?
Yeah. I'm just curious. Let me see. Yeah. So directly over the cat ball, I'm already in yellow, like pushing blue. And
Ah, okay.
It's copying you now.
yeah. So you do like that toy.
It's one of those LEDs, one of your favorite colors.
Oh,
It's got green, yellow, blue, purple.
my favorite color is purple. Could you show me that color? Please and thank you.
Are you still in here? Can you touch one of those if you are?
It felt very childlike in here earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Being kind of coy or shy. Do you know who Charlotte is? No way.
I just heard like a full sentence. I don't know what it was though. Like mumbled.
Just confirmed it. It's the first like actual confirmation device-wise that something just grabbed me on my hip. That's the first device confirmation that we've gotten about Charlotte.
Yeah.
Since she was brought up.
You've been asking about her all night too. So.
Yep.
Who's here with us?
Who is Charlotte? I don't know.
Charlotte was, I'm assuming, a young girl that came through the last time I was here, about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
She grabbed onto me and a friend of mine and just like wouldn't let go. And kept following us around the property all night.
Oh.
And she was very determined to leave with one of us, but we didn't let her. I told her when I'd come back, I'd visit her. I didn't know if she was actually here. I didn't know if there was actually a Charlotte, because we were using Spirit Talker. It was like a public hunt.
Yeah.
I didn't bring a whole lot of equipment, so that's the name that came through, and we just kind of rolled with it all night. And we would get responses to Charlotte.
Well, it seems like it is now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Is Charlotte here right now? Oh. Nice.
Yeah.
And you're saying it's childlike.
Yes.
That's what we got too. That was the impression we got.
Oh.
Well, it's nice to
Both
talk
of
to you
us.
again, Charlotte.
Dude, 2 for 1. Wow.
That's sick.
Look at that.
From Pod and Catball. Thank you.
Oh. It's like a little you're welcome.
These cameras have microphones on them. You can come up to them and say whatever you need to say. If you have a message or a story or anything that needs to get out to the world or a loved one, we'll be able to hear you.
They love the lights.
Yeah, they really do.
Once we confirmed who we were talking to, I kind of decided to take a little bit of a back seat and let Mike lead the interaction with Charlotte because I wanted her to feel safe with communicating with us. Since Matt and I were strangers to her, I just wanted her to feel comfortable, and she seemed to really trust Mike.
Are you glad I came back to visit you?
Yep.
Me too. I told you I would. Sorry I couldn't take you with me.
Did you hear that?
That was very clear.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
That was like a girl.
Yeah. To me, it almost sounded like somebody saying please.
Yeah. I couldn't make it out, but... You have a music box in the other room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's on?
Yep. It's been on this whole time. Charlotte, if you go in this other room here, that I'm pointing at, there's a music box. You can make that play music. All you have to do is walk in front of it or reach out and touch it. Can you go in there and play that music box?
She's like, no, I'm sitting right here with you guys.
Yeah. I'm not going anywhere.
No.
It's really cool though.
Yeah. Direct.
I don't
Very
ever see
direct.
those go off that often, just in a row.
No way.
Hey.
Wow.
Thank you,
Dude.
Charlotte.
Thank you so much.
That was so
That
cool.
was awesome.
Yeah, oh, cat ball is still going, and now the REM pod.
So exciting. Thank you.
You're doing a great job. Thank you so much.
That was crazy.
That was awesome. I don't even know what to say now.
Yeah.
I'm just mind blown.
Yeah.
Dang.
Should play tag with the music box again. Go back and forth.
Play us a song.
Do you enjoy these toys in the room too? So you have a old keyboard thing. There's a ball, teddy bear. Do you enjoy playing with these?
Just
It's constant.
Is there another one?
Yeah, put it on that view.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Charlotte, there's another one of those toys right here where I'm pointing. Can you come up and touch this one too? Charlotte, do you have any friends here that would like to come over and talk to us as well?
We've moved the REM pod. Do you think you can... It's like, put it back over here. Oh.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And cat ball's still going.
Yep, both at the same time. Oh.
Oh. Cat ball too.
Wow.
It's crazy, they're in sync
Mm-hmm.
almost every time.
Yeah.
And they're not even together now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Do you like that we're able to communicate with you?
I think it said hi. It's weird.
Should we go to this room?
Sure.
Where was your favorite spot in this building?
Which way do we go along?
Careful.
Why should we be careful?
Are we not safe?
What was this room used for?
Housing.
Who was housed
On the
here?
ground.
Did I say for my grandma?
On the ground.
No. How many people would sleep in here in this room?
A lot.
Was it pretty crowded?
A lot.
Was there any kids in here, or was it all adults?
Sing for me.
What do you want to sing?
I'm real.
We know you're real. Do you like music?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have many friends when you were here? Did you make any friends when you were here?
A few.
What were their names?
David should.
David should what? He's helping us to communicate with you right
I'm
now.
not saying what it said. Sound like it.
That's not very nice.
It didn't sound very nice.
Are you a man or are you a woman that we're talking to?
Doctor,
A doctor.
Can you tell us your name?
I'm in pain.
What kind of pain are you in? Where does it hurt?
I'm stuck.
Aw. I'm so sorry.
What's keeping you here?
Grab his feet.
Grab whose feet?
His. Walk away.
Who should walk away? What was the worst thing about living here?
Help.
What do you need help with?
My camera's not focusing for some reason.
He's a northerner.
Who is?
I told you. Bye, have a good day.
Are you finished talking with us? Do you think there's anyone else here who'd like to speak with us?
Get out.
Why should we get out?
And do you not like having visitors?
Mark
I don't like that.
Thompson.
Your name is Mark Thompson? It's nice to meet you, Mark Thompson.
Yes.
My name is Rhonda. It's nice to meet you.
You knew me?
No. Oh my god. What is that? That's odd footsteps. Something's moving over there. No, Mark, I never knew you, but do you think maybe we could be friends?
Was that your footsteps we heard, Mark?
You're turning.
Said you're turning. Mark, are you still with us?
I'm good here.
We'd like to know a little bit more about you. Would that be okay?
This is annoying.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to annoy you. We're really thankful that you're speaking with us.
15.
You just said that. She just said it's been 15 minutes.
Is there a Charlotte in here? If you're here, can you come up and say hello? It would be really great to talk to you one more time before we left.
Maybe she's gone.
She might be.
Oh, there's something. Sounded like a hi. Oh, there's something. Sounded like a hi.
I like pushing past the filter. I'm not sure if you understand how that toy works, but if you go up to it and touch it or put energy into it, the same way you've been touching these toys, you can talk through it, and we can hear your voice. Hey, hey.
Thank you.
Are you okay?
It sounds like the same tone. It's almost like they're using the static as opposed to stations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the same tone and response.
Yeah.
Every time. But I don't know, it's hard to make out.
Yeah.
Trying. Yeah.
It sounds like
that was the same
tone.
thing.
Yeah. But I don't know what that is.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to turn this off for now. Charlotte and everyone else that was down here tonight came out to speak with us. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. We hope that you have a good rest of the night. We'll come talk to you again soon.
Thank you all so much.
Yes, thank you. You're fantastic.
Yes, enjoy the rest of your evening.
It's great.
I hope it's good.
Mike came to the realization that we may have came in contact with a little girl named Charlotte. She was such a lovely and cooperative little spirit. She was giving us spot-on responses, and when she set the music box off, that was absolutely mind-blowing because it didn't go off any other time until we mentioned it. I could really feel the connection that she had with Mike and the trust that she had for him, and I was just really, really glad I was there to be able to witness that interaction.
That was crazy, dude.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah. You were giving us names. We asked about your
at the end,
family.
I just said, I looked at Tara, I said, it's been almost 15 minutes. You said 15. Right after I said that.
That's cool.
Right
That's
after.
amazing.
There was a lot of like really weird things like that.
Yeah, and then you're like, you said Mark Thompson.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, it's nice to meet you, Mark Thompson. And you're like, do I know you?
Yeah. We heard footsteps over here, which is why we ended up coming over here.
When you were saying that you were Mark Thompson or whatever, full-fledged movement over in this area.
After reviewing David's walking Estes, I was mind blown. I cannot believe the answers that he was giving.
David actually was a great sport. He had no clue what it was we were going to do to him.
It was a lot of fun. I did accidentally let him hit a wall. I did do my best though. Sorry, David.
He even had the chance to wear the kitty mask.
He was actually really good at doing Estes.
He was really in tune, even though he was being walked around and he was blindfolded. He still gave like incredible answers.
When I was asking questions and speaking, it felt as if there was somebody right there and I was having an actual intelligent conversation.
I think that the room itself was really interesting as well that we took him through because it was a lot of like weird cubicles. So I knew that wherever I was walking him, he had no idea where he was. The walking Estes session is also a way to cover ground when you're in these really big places because there's only so much you can do in the however many hours they offer. And this is a way that we can get from one room to another and see if we can get the communication building. So at the end of the night, we decided to group both groups together entirely and do a double Estes session together in the infirmary. Now, the infirmary was really interesting because it was really far away from the other buildings that we had access to.
The infirmary was pretty heavy and emotional.
It seemed even sadder than a lot of the other buildings we went into. This was the place where people would have their teeth taken out if they had bit more than once. Just some horrible things were done there.
I'm here.
You see me, Paige?
Hello.
Hi.
We can see you through the window.
Which window?
It's open.
Richard.
How long have you been here?
Jackson.
Amazing.
I hear you.
It hurts.
What are you doing here?
We just want to talk with you.
Trying to learn about you.
Tell your
Talk.
story. Do you have any messages
Oh
you
my
want to
god.
Go away.
That's not very nice. Just here to talk with you.
Something said Tara.
What would you like with me? Would you like to talk to me?
My name's Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
I found him. Powerful.
Who's
You
powerful?
hit me?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Are you from the area?
We're
No,
from
all
Canada.
over.
And Maryland. You guys are all from Maryland?
It's a ways away.
Hear me. That was like a scream.
Careful.
Do you like the toys we have laid out? You know, we have a bunch of them all throughout the room. None of them are
I
intended.
would like to go to Canada someday.
Canada's really nice.
Canada's great.
There's poutine.
I've never been.
I haven't either.
Canada's great.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
I've heard
It
it.
is. Lots
They
of
all-
trees. Lots of lakes.
Any place in particular you want to see?
Can you hear me?
We
Okay.
can.
Can you tell us who's talking right now?
Okay.
Tell Mike it's gonna be alright.
Mike, it's gonna be alright.
It's alright, Mike. You're good. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
Will you stop screaming?
Is there anything we could do to help you?
They were children.
Were you one of those children? Were you treated okay?
He's
I
training.
want someone to hold me. I'd like that.
Sick.
Get me out. Michael. It's not right here.
You have free
It's
will.
terrible. The loneliness.
You don't have to be here.
I'm sad.
Can you tell us
We're
why
not
you're-
happy.
Can you tell us why you're sad? Not happy? I understand a lot of bad things went on here. Did they
I'm
have any-
desperate. I'm choking.
I'm sick again.
So sorry.
Are you choking
out of
from
breath.
the sickness? Is that maybe one of the symptoms that you felt from your sickness?
In pain.
Something about 89.
Can you explain that a little further?
Exhausting.
What's 89? Is it a year? An age?
Nothing's wrong with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Of course. Thank you for communicating with us.
Can you tap Mike
Just
on
said
the
go
shoulder?
to infirmary.
You haven't even heard about the elementals or everything.
Are there elementals here?
Feel free to tell us about it.
Ah,
Is there something that
It is rough.
is there something that keeps you
you
here?
just want to sit here?
Yeah.
What keeps you here?
Is that powerful
We
force?
need to escape.
Is that powerful force that you were talking about earlier keeping you here?
I need to leave. I'm desperate.
Like Matt said, you have
Like
free
somebody
will.
said, ow.
Get me out.
You just have to find the light. Once you find the light, you're free.
Stop it.
Can you make a noise in this room? Let us
Don't.
know you're here.
I'm 18.
What's your
Tons
name?
of people.
Who is 18?
But Michael welcomes
He has something.
us with wide open arms. He must, or we must go.
With him.
Greater one.
He's good.
There's
We
all
can't go with Michael.
Yeah.
Responsibility for all.
Michael is not responsible
For me and
all
you.
of you. No. But you can
Dead.
go, just not with Michael.
You're not allowed to follow any of us home when we leave here. But we encourage you to find the light if you want to leave.
We really want you to find
I'm
the
not
light.
going.
Then you can stay here.
We don't want you to have to be here anymore.
Not if
So
you're
much
not
pain, so
happy.
much suffering.
He might be something.
For now.
Mike, you're listening.
He is. So is Paige.
We want out.
Please help us.
Okay,
Lost.
Tell us what you need help with.
Touch him.
Isolated.
Who are you trying to touch? Can you touch Mike?
David.
Hi.
I want to touch you, David.
You're more than welcome if you want to tap me on the shoulder or something like that. You're more than welcome to.
I'm talking now.
Keep on talking. Anything you want to tell us. We're here to hear it.
I guess so. Avery or Every?
Avery.
Whose blood?
Piss off.
Enough.
That's not very nice.
Bad man.
Who's the bad man?
They hate me. Don't speak.
I don't know why.
Why do they hate you? Where is the bad man?
Have you had
Number 3.
power and control over your life?
Sometimes I feel like I do. Do you?
Why come back here then?
So we
He
can learn
gets
more
it.
about you.
Is it not enough?
Yeah.
It's gone. But you keep looking. Where is it?
What are you
It's a
looking
corpse
for?
of what it once was.
The message.
Everyone's
something.
gone.
I don't know.
So who are you? Burn it down to rubble. Get rid of it
But then where would you go?
Tell him that.
and go away.
Do you think you'd be free if you burnt down?
You listen good.
Get to it.
I'm grateful. You're so kind or thoughtful.
Were you a student here? Are we speaking
He's
with a
blind.
This is disability, I guess. I'm like blind people.
Believe me.
Stand up, you fuck.
Do you remember what age you were when you were brought here?
I can see you.
How is this possible?
There's probably a lot of
You
equipment
tell
here
me.
that you can't see how it's really possible to use. You're probably just not used to it, but all of it's just to help
Get
communicate
up.
a little better.
None of
Can
it will hurt
Don't
you.
let hate take over.
Can you touch one of the devices around here? If you walk in front of that one, it'll play music for you. On that side of the wall.
Lots of people like to feel a sense of power, but it doesn't make them happy.
Can you see me? That sounded really distressed.
We can't see you currently.
Hope we can hear you.
We're looking though.
Yeah. We would love to see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can.
We can.
Can you hear us?
Are you in the room here with us?
You shouldn't.
We shouldn't what?
Yes. It's time.
I said Paige.
I'm fine with everything you said.
What about Paige?
Now please go away, or go on. Just leave. Go to bed.
You don't want to talk with us anymore?
Where'd you go?
We're all here.
Alright, I'm done. How was that?
Don't.
It was good. It was sad.
Yeah.
It was very sad.
Well, that sounded like
I want someone.
they wanted you to help someone. Pass on.
Yeah.
What?
That's what I kept picking up.
Yeah.
They were very attached to you, as normal. Like, one of them wants to see the entire campus burn down.
That would make sense. A lot of pent up frustration and energy here, so.
Yeah.
As you can see, the spirits were very distressed and they wanted to get out of that place, and they were sick. They wanted to come home with us, and they even told Mike that they wanted this place burned to the ground. And I mean, Pennhurst Asylum is referred to as the shame of Pennsylvania, so I don't blame them.
It was just really super sad. It was actually hard to watch. It just seemed like everything that was coming through was just so sad and just desperately wanting to escape that place.
I was really impressed reviewing the Estes. Our answers seemed to match up pretty well.
I think that Paige and Mike did a phenomenal job bouncing off of each other during the Estes session. Both of them were making sense with what they were saying.
We were getting very similar responses. They were telling us the same things, so that was pretty cool.
Everybody kind of has somebody that has some sort of disability, and I mean, people were put into that place for, you know, something as little as being epileptic or having autism, or, you know, and we all know people like that. Just thinking that had those people in our lives been born at that time, they could have been stuck in a place like that, which is just horrible to think of.
Overall, Pennhurst was a whole different beast.
I found it to be a very difficult place to be at.
Knowing that, you know, this went on for so many years and only recently has changes been made.
It was an extremely emotional environment to be in.
It was one of the heaviest investigations we've done thus far.
There's a lot to uncover here, and given its size and the history, I really do think that you need to have more than one visit to completely understand what's going on at Pennhurst. Working with Mike, Matt, and David of Charm City Paranormal was a surreal experience.
Working with Charm City was great.
Working with Mike, David, and Matt from Charm City Paranormal was incredible.
I've been watching Mike's channel since before we even uploaded our first YouTube video, and I have nothing but respect for the way he films, edits, and investigates.
His editing style is unlike anyone else.
They were just a great bunch of guys. Fun and funny and easy to be around.
David and Matt are such great additions to Charm City Paranormal. Watching them all set up a shot together was completely mesmerizing and super inspiring.
To see how quickly they can take it down, they're like a well-oiled machine.
They literally have like the perfect dynamic to be able to do this together.
I think they're an incredible addition, and I'm really excited to continue to watch his channel grow because I know that they are definitely going places.
I've been a fan of Charm City for a long time now, and just being able to work with Mike and the guys was just an incredible experience.
It was really nice to work with people who have a similar approach to investigating like us. So if you're not already subscribed to Charm City Paranormal, you should head over there now and subscribe to their channel. They will also have their version of this investigation out in the coming weeks, so keep an eye out for that. And while you're waiting, go watch all of their videos because they're honestly some of the best.
I would absolutely love to work with Charm City again.
Loved working with them and would love to do it again.
So thank you, Mike, Matt, and David for inviting us out. I'm sure we'll be working together again. This is not the end of ParanormalXP and Charm City Paranormal.
Mike, Matt, and David, hit us up. We'll do it again.